Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Always a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure. You see the thing about today's topic, right? I I feel like there are so many ways to approach it. There are different angles to look at it. You know, you know that this thing we're talking about confidence. There's nobody that has confidence more than a beginner. If you see a beginner, somebody who just maybe he just got they just introduced him to trading, right? His confidence level is the highest. Is the highest. When I say highest, like he's so confident that thing, maybe he did it and he gave him money. He's so confident that he's so confident to the point where he will go as far as acquiring capital by all means, borrowing money, collecting investments, doing it. Like this is a beginner. And one thing, see, Forest will stay in your white. At every level, you will feel that you are already a professional in forex trading. At every level, there's nothing that will occur to you that there's still something to learn. Where you are, at that moment, you go feel, is it not support and resistance? Is it not this? I don't know am now. I've learned it, I've studied it, I understand it, right? This is my strategy. You now say, okay, so this is what they are hiding for me, Abi. So this is not the holy grail. So you gain. See, it's now over time that the market will now humble you. Oh, it will humble you. You will carry your saving to collect it. You carry another one to collect it. Problem, you will not see one positive from first trade minus bam, violation. You carry another one again from first trade again, like that. It will go, so it will humble you. You will now say, no, there is, there's more to this thing. You now begin to seek knowledge, seek wisdom, start asking people, start looking for mentorship. Some people get into a deep hole before they even realize, because there's always that, I always say there's always that big check mentality that there is no upside limit to forex. There's no limit to what you can make. So it gives that big check mentality, that gambler's mentality, that that lottery mentality that one day my luck will shine, I will make that big money. And that's why you see a lot of traders struggle with sizing, a lot of traders struggle with emotion. A lot of traders cannot keep to a working system because they cannot see how that small money or that small size or that small methodological approach will give them that big check. You see it. And I always say this is one thing I struggled with, right? Approaching the market first with the money mindset. See, if you talk about confidence, think about a student, a medical student. Is he going to be confident when he is still a student? No. Right? At what point are you going to start becoming confident? At what point? When you now finish, you do your internship, and you have probably stayed for a couple of years, right? That's when you can now start to have confidence. You can stay in the OR alone. You take the surgery and you are sure that person, after the anesthesia is, the time expires, the person will wake up, right? How are you going to have that confidence? It is with time and with study and with practice, and with many tests. I always say that in medicine, the back testing is with dead bodies. They call it cadaver. You use cadaver to do all the practice. You must do it. You see, it's difficult for me to talk about this topic without going back to what almost all the speakers have spoken, because that's just the truth about the whole thing. Gamsan talked about journaling. In fact, everybody talked about one thing or the other. Promise that just left, he talked about in fact so many things, especially back testing, right? how are you going to get confidence if you have not built a system, if you have not backtested the system, if you have not generated data? Confidence comes from data. The reason why you are afraid, you don't know, you're afraid of missing out on a trade, is because you don't have the confidence that I'm going to see my setup, or I have a setup that I'm waiting for, I'm looking for. Then when the green bar starts to, pump, you now say, oh, I'm going to miss out, or the market is going to move 1,000. You don't have a system that you're religiously following. People don't even understand what it is to build a system. And a lot of traders are lazy to build a system. They are lazy. I'm telling you, a lot of traders are lazy to actually sit down and generate statistical data. They are jumping from here. See, when I started, I said there are different, there are different ways that you can look at this confidence thing. Some people have confidence issues because they have conflicting signals. You can take a trade, right? And you're not sure whether to buy or to sell. It can happen. And for people like that, what is dwindling that confidence at that moment is because I would say they are discombobulated with the excessive knowledge that they have, which they have not streamlined, to a system that they can use. See, if you teach me price action, I'm using price action. Price action is a different system from ICT, right? And SMC and ICT have a lot of similarities, but they are not exactly the same. They are different concepts. If you go to indicator, it's a different concept, it's a different idea. If your methodology is confluences of moving averages or whatever, or psychological levels or whatever, right? And you are doing that thing, and at the same time you are drawing trend line, at the same time you are looking for fair value gap, at the same time you are going to lose confidence. You stay there, you'll not be able to place a trade, right? Because you're seeing in the indicator is telling you to buy, trend line is telling you no, it have reached trend line, sell, right? So you see, that's one way that you can see that the trader is having issues with the confidence. Another thing that going to affect your confidence is what we call recency bias, right? Recency bias, that you have taken too many losses, it's going to affect your confidence. I don't care who you are, right? You take a loss, you take another one, you take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses in a row, you're going to see when you want to put on the next trade, you're going to feel a type of way, right? You can't be immune to that. You see, it's going to affect your confidence, right? So that's another thing. What else can affect your confidence? Confirmation bias. I think somebody touched on that one, right? Your idolo says, oh, this week expect dollar, JPY, GBP, and this pair, all of them, expect them to sell, expect them to fall. Dollar just broke a flag, is going to fall throughout the week. DXY is going to buy throughout the week. It's going to give you a confirmation bias. When your setup and your signal now says, okay, sell, because you have a confirmation bias that says it's going to be a type of way, you're not going to have the confidence to take that trade. And mind you, all of these things are causing an impediment in your overall results, as compared to what the data has provided. And I want to believe that I'm talking to people who understand, because I've said this 1,000 times. First thing you have to do, go and open a Z sheet, raw one. If you don't know how to use Notion, on my Twitter here, I have pinned the thread. I'm still getting acclimatized to these words, right? I pinned the thread on journaling. I also did a video where I describe how you can use Notion. I did not stop there. I put a template there, right? You don't have any excuse. Somebody even say, what if you don't want to journal? Is there any way around? There's no way around it. Sorry, there's no way around it. There's no way around it. Oh, what if we want to start? What if I want to open a business? Maybe I want to start a gas plant. Am I going to go and buy gas? Yes, you have to buy gas. You know, right? You have to buy. See, what if I'm good? You cannot see. You cannot get professional assistance in trading if you don't have some data. You can't. Right? The problem with trading, I always say, is that it's available to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. It's available to everybody. No qualification. Nobody going to tell you, okay, when you start trading, this is the first thing you do. You finish year 1. You finish and pass all the courses in year 1 before you go to year 2. Before we now finally give you your, after final year, you do your seminar, do your defense. We give you your certificate. Then you go and do youth service, and then you start looking for a job. That's when you now know in your mind that, okay, this is now the time for me to start making money. Right? Now, in trading, from matriculation, you want to collect what the highest surgeon is collecting. That's all you see. Right? That's all you see. One reason why I am not always heavy with, showing lifestyle, sometimes you can't help it, because this is there's no how you can hide something that's a light, But I try my best to not push it, forward, the lifestyle and all of those things. And the reason is because, you don't want people to always think that from day one, this is what they can get. If I do it at all, I just want to let you know that, see, this thing is possible. If you can follow the process that we have taught, this thing is possible. There's no limit to what any human being that is a trader can achieve. Go and check the results. Go and look at a market wizard. Look at all the greatest guys. They're not talking $10,000. They're talking millions of dollars. You're hearing $400 million, and we're not talking about 2020. We're talking 80s. 70s, so there's no limit in the real sense, but you don't misplace your priorities. The first thing is to get the skill. The first thing is to get your data. Get the one that you absolutely trust. And I've said it time and again. I say take 2, 3, 4, 5 rules and get the data on those rules. If I tell myself I need to see, number 1, a valid swing. Number 2, which is based on market structure. Number 2, I want to see engineering liquidity. Number 4, I want to see fair value gap. Number 5, I want to go to my lower time frame to do a confirmation, right? I want to see maybe a valid order block, or something like that. These are the things I want to see. I'm now going to open the computer, take any of the backtesting tool, and if you can't pay for backtesting, look for your friends. It will allow you to log in on deep, like 2, 3. I don't know how many it is, but I know it's possible. The time when I had a physical class, I just did the biggest plan, right, on TradingView, so that I can give access to everybody in the class, right? So you can buy with your friends, contribute, get that access for you to get enough bars. Right? And then you go and sit down and run the back test. You can't be confident without back test. If that's the only thing you want to take from me today, just take it. If you don't know that these are the 3 things or 4 things I want to see, and you go and sit down and back test it, your confidence is 0. You open the market any day and you sit down, you throw your money. That's why you say you trade emotionally. Why? Because that's the way the market is designed to do. It makes you. It will delete your thinking part. I said the other day, you sit down for 5 hours, and immediately you before you look up, open your MT4, even as I'm talking to you. It will be baiting you to buy. What is the time? Are people supposed to trade by this time? The volume is low, but open it and see whether you not want to say, see Pimba, see order block, see fair value gap. You will see everything you want to see, and it will lure you to buy. But the only way you can gain confidence without caring what someone else... See, there are times when I take position. I open the internet and I see other positions. What I just tell myself is, okay, fine, let's see who's analysis is right, and it doesn't change my analysis of the market. Why? Because I'm following the rules that I say, that I have backtested. You cannot sit down and do 12 years on any set of rules, 12 years, and you are saying you don't have confidence. It's not possible. I'm telling you now. If you're struggling, if you have the confidence issue, you genuinely feel like, oh God, in fact, if you lack confidence, it makes you sometimes you don't trade at all, because you're scared that you're going to lose the money. It's simple. If you don't have any set of rules that you can follow by yourself, it's very simple. Just go ahead to Go ahead. There are a lot of mentors. They have organized courses, right? There are people here. You can buy the course from them. Follow that thing. See, any concept you see out there is working. That is one thing you need to know. And it will never stop working, because if I bring a chart in 2023 and the chart in 1905, you will not know the difference. If I bring the same, make it candles, you won't know. There's no difference. There's no difference. So what is working is still working. It's just what you train your eyes to see that you will see. Right? So if you say, okay, this is what I want to see, me, my own self, what is the strategy? I always say that a strategy is the language you want the market to speak for you to participate. Because the market is going to speak different things. It's going to bait you. You can't know every turn in the market. You can't catch every move. So the only thing you say, okay, this is my own language, or you study your language very well, understand it, so that the market can be speaking all forms of language. The moment the market speaks that your native language, the one you understand very well, if it's English or whatever, you now participate. You now say, okay, you have called my name. If I have a room full of different dogs, if I call Gingy, only one will stand up. Only one. If there are 10, only one. That's how it is. Right? The others, why are they not going to stand up? Because I didn't call their name. That's what your strategy is in the market. Your strategy is the time when the market will call your name and say, you stand up. Then you put your 2 cents on it, and you don't size big. You don't size big. See, the rate at which you can get capitalized, there is no reason for you to say you are over trading or over leveraging, or it's not even, because the leverage has been presented to you in form of actual money, right? It has been presented to you as $10,000, $100,000, $500,000. It has been given to you. So all you just need to do at this point is to say, okay, fine, for these rules that I'm looking at, that I'm hoping for the market to print, if it prints, I'm going to participate with X amount. Kalas, you are good. That's all you need. I tell you, that's all you need, guys. See, if you can stick to, it's just like, do you know how, there's a time I got a car. It's a truck, but when I bought the truck, I didn't really like the truck. So what I did was, I now took it to the mechanic, and then they literally pimped it. They made the tires big. They put new wheels, they put paddings, and then they put the latest light. They shipped it. I had to wait, right? They put the latest light. In fact, it was, do you know, because of how long it took me to build that car, it was my favorite. I had a G-Wagon. I had the other smaller cars, right? But that particular one was the one I was always driving. Why? Because of the time I used to build it. It's like, when you sit down, you take a long time to build a system. You cannot struggle with confidence in that system. Even if you are losing, remember I told you one of the things that are going to affect your confidence is losses. If you have 6, 7, 8 losses in a row, what do you know? Yes, you can now regress and go back to position sizing strategies that will help you in those kind of times, right? But you can see already you have 12 years, right? You have 12 years. If you have 12 years, you know very well that this thing failed X number of times. And I agree that, yes, I saw that it failed 8 times in a row, but this is the system I still want to use, right? So if you have 8 losses in a row, what's going to happen? You know that, okay, it's good. It's time for me to even increase my lot size, because my losses will soon finish and I can recover. Right? So I'm just going to leave it there because this is a very simple and straightforward thing. Gamsam, he took his time to explain journal. That's why I'm not even saying anything about journal. Right? But you see, I can't say anything on this topic without telling you that you need data. You need data. That's what gives confidence. You need data. That's what's going to take away your fears. You need data. Right? When you now get data, you have now skipped that part. Then you now start taking note of your, how you are executing that plan, and then the emotional troubles that you have, the struggles you have. What are you, how are you, at what point are you making mistakes? Right? Because if you say, I want to see this, I want to see that, at what point are you making mistakes? Is it before the trade? Is it in recognizing the trade? Are you missing the trade? Are you are you not executing the trade correctly when you enter? Where are you having the issues? How are you going to know? Gamsam said it. Journal. That's all. Journal. If your data that you have backtested says in a month this is what this system can give you, in a year this is what this system can give you, right? And then you start taking the trade. How are you going to know whether what your system gave you back in the back test and what you're doing is higher or lesser or equal? How are you going to know? Journal. That's the only way. There's no two ways about it. You got to journal. I bet you can't escape journaling unless you're not serious. You can't. At every point in time, you have to journal. Whether you are doing it constructively, Notion, like those of us who like to do all of that, put everything, because it's fancy. I like to scroll through 12,000 data and I'm looking at it, and I like that, right? If you're doing that, or at least you're taking screenshot. If you look at some people's media, it's only screenshot of charts, but somehow you have to keep record. And I tell you what, it's going to pay you if you do it in an organized way, because that's the only way you can now use that forward data to correct your results. That variance, that gap, profit gap between what your back testing data gave you and what you're getting in real time, right? That gap is your journal that will be telling you this is where you're messing up. This is where you're messing up. You should be breaking even when there's a break of structure or there's this or that, so that you don't lose.
Preach.
Okay, I'm going to stop here. Guys. All right.
Why you want stop? Which guy team that now? I say you preach more. You don't mess up.
Trey. Oh my God, Trey! I don't actually finish because that's the truth, man. That's the truth, because if you get data from the back testing and you're not journaling the forward testing data that you're getting from live trading, you are like a sheep without a shepherd. You are just like you are like a captain that does not have a compass. It's like you are in the ship. You're in the ship in the middle of the blue sea, and you don't have any sense of direction. And then that's why you'll be easily swayed by anything that comes your way. I cannot tweak my system until I have seen my journal at the end of December. I see that, okay, this is a repetitive thing, right? I can't tweak anything. I won't change anything until December, meaning one whole year. I won't touch the system. My job is wake up and execute. I told you, trading is boring. Real trading is boring. If you really want to trade correctly, it is. Do you think that the doctor wake up and go to the morning and he's excited? His dopamine is rushing and he's all like, no. My mom, she goes to work. Is she going to be all excited? Hey, gree. And then you can't wait to place a trade. You can't wait to be in a winning or losing position. And you are just, no, it's a normal thing. That's how you get money. The other day I talked about the guys who are actually making money. Their job is, it's boring. They're just there. The car dealer, he just goes there, comes back. There's nothing exciting about it. But if he flips one car, he makes millions. You see, it's the same thing in the trading. It's the exact same thing in the trading. All you need to do, that system that you absolutely believe in, that system that you trust, you execute it. That's all. You execute it. But what are you going to execute if you don't have a system? What are you going to execute? Nothing. So that's why the first thing first is to get the system. Second thing is to begin executing that system. You see. So I'm gonna stop there. I'm going to stop there because I know that there are other guys here. Uncommon, don't come. My man, pam parara. Hey, I beg, give me that sound. Give her my.
Should they don't teach you how to do this thing? Why is it they use your mouth to do that?
I dey find her every time. They find her. I don't get, but I don't wear glass, but I dey. All right.